What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 16, and we start today's episode off by seeing that Nastasic is wanted by Hoffenheim, but we just straight up say no. Definitely not going to sell our centre-back, and Genoa came back in for Foster and said they would go as high as £11.5 million. So we just said, okay, I don't want to sell him, but that's quite a good amount of money for a 31-year-old, and we'll wait and see. I'm sort of hoping he actually turns that down, but we'll have to wait and see. But we also saw as well that Arsenal accepted a 30 grand deal for Hector Bellerin, which is just ridiculous. In the last episode, you saw Bigger Romana get a transfer offer accepted of £0, and it looks as though Bellerin could be coming in for 30 grand. It's absolutely outrageous, it really is. But if Foster is to leave, we do need to replace him. And Kiko Casilla of Espanyol is rated 80, so he's one rating higher than Foster, 3 years younger, and his contract's up at the end of the year, so we could possibly get him on quite a low deal for less than what we could sell Foster for, and that would be a decent replacement for us. We offer what we got so far, and we'll wait and see what Espanyol say. And after Foster's gone, if he does go, we'll put in a new bid for him as well. But Zambrano finally, thank the Lord, accepts his pre-contract. It took about 8 attempts, but finally Zambrano has said he will join us next year. Thank goodness for that. Bigger Romana also accepted his contract, so he'll come in for nothing. And also Ben Foster's going nowhere. Genoa couldn't negotiate a contract with him, so Foster stays. And I'm actually really pleased about that, because obviously Foster, as I said, I'm a really big fan of Foster on the game. He's been great for us this season, and he's our captain. Of course, I made him captain, so I'm glad he's actually staying. Although £11.5 million would have been a lot of money, I'm pleased he is going to stay. Also, as well, we saw that Luke Daniels is going to join Charlton on a free, which is fine with me, because he's not a glitch player like he was last year. Last year, of course, he was a glitch player. He got up to like 85, 86 for some people, but this year, he's not going to get to that amount. He'll probably stay in the mid-60s, so that's okay with me, so we can leave on a free. And also, as well, you would have seen as well, Hector Bellerin accepted his contract. We offer one to Bentaleb as well, after Spurs accepted a 45 grand deal, which is ridiculous, and Bigger Romana accepted his contract too. So Bigger Romana, Zambrano and Hector Bellerin all accept their contract. So Zambrano will come in for free next year, a 77 rated centre back, very pleased with that. And of course we've now signed Hector Bellerin and also Gael Bigger Romana for a combined fee of £35,000. Now that is just ridiculous. Both players of course very young at 21 and 19 years old, and 30,000, not 35 grand a week, a saving of 5 grand there. £30,000 for those two players. And as you can see by their stats, it must be glitched, because both of those players are worth more than that, miles more. Of course, they are young. They've got decent potential, I'm sure. I'm sure they'll both go into the 70s. And it's just bizarre. Like it's just really, really bizarre that they've gone for such low fees. It truly is. So I don't really understand that. I'm not complaining, don't get me wrong, because they're real bargains for us. They are unbelievable bargains, really, because I'm sure they both have 70-odd potential. But even so, it's quite surprising regardless, and it must be a glitch. It must be. But still, following that, we offer a new contract to Bentaleb after he turned his first one down, and United won't let go of Ben Amos, which is fine. I've been going in for Amos just because his contract's up at the end of the year. He's probably got low 70 potential. Of course, he's still at United after all these years, but he barely plays, and we could possibly get him for quite a cheap deal, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen, so there you go. But still, we take on Hull City for the first game of today's episode, the first and only game of today's episode here at the Hawthorns. And of course, of late, we've been on a decent run in the league. I think it's now 5 games with only 1 defeat, so very decent run in the league. But as you can see, Hull are currently sitting in 16th place, and despite our very disappointing 2-2 draw away at Everton, which wouldn't have been disappointing had we not been leading the game with 3 minutes to go by 2 goals. That's why it was so disappointing. We conceded 2 goals in 3 minutes. It was still quite disappointing regardless. I was still feeling very confident about our chances here against Hull City, because as they're in 16th, they're having quite a bad season under Steve Bruce. This should be a really good chance for us at home to put the sword to them and score a couple of goals, and show Hull that we're going to make their life even more miserable. But still, as you can see by Hull's team, they have signed 1 player in this January transfer window. They've signed Kevin Nolan from West Ham United, so still a very decent side West Ham have. Ben Arthur on the bench, Leon Morris, centre-back I wanted in the summer. Still a decent side, but regardless, you can see why they're in 16th place. Not too good. And the first chance would fall in the 19th minute, and the first goal would be scored in the 19th minute as well. Saido Berahino got it, getting on the end of a Patrick Roberts free kick. Very, very good cross by the young man with the left boot, finding Saido Berahino, and the 2 young English talents combine, and Berahino makes it 1-0. So very pleased to take the lead in this game, as you'd expect, really. And it was Berahino with the goal, with a very good header getting on the end of that Patrick Roberts free kick. So West Brom 1, Hull City 0. But in the 22nd minute, a good chance for Hull here. Kevin Nolan, their new signing, finds Nikica Jelavic. Jelavic plays it back towards Nolan, who strikes it, but thankfully for us, the shot goes wide and out for a goal kick. So still 1-0. And just before half-time here, another good chance for Hull. Gaston Ramirez collects the ball and finds Kevin Nolan. Down his left-hand side, slides it back in towards the Uruguayan, who strikes it, but thankfully for us, the shot goes over and out for a goal kick. So still 1-0, but Hull beginning to grow in confidence. However, 10 minutes after the restart in the second half, Jordan Abita finds Chris Brunt down his left-hand side, takes on Tom Huddleston. He's got the pace to beat him. He keeps on going, gets into the area, back heels it towards Abita. Abita fakes shots, then crosses, the ball's blocked, comes to Brunt. Brunt is tackled, and how about this for a cross by Abita? What a ball by a left back, picks out Brown a day, and although the first header is saved, the ball just trickles along the line as it was deflected, and Brown a day makes it West Brom 2, Hull City 0. So it's a tap in for Brown a day, but what a fantastic ball that was by Jordan Abita. You can see why I've kept him at left back. He's so good at whipping those crosses in, and what a ball it was. Shame a day couldn't have headed it in, but still the main thing is the ball did eventually go into the back of the net. So West Brom 2, Hull 0. We're surely on course for another 3 points here. In the 63rd minute, Abita tried his strike from range, which went just wide the post and out for a goal kick. And in the 76th minute, a good chance for Hull to get themselves back into this game. Kevin Nolan goes down left hand side, takes on Yusuf Malumbu, crosses the ball into the centre, and Jelavic heads the ball onto the bar and out for a goal kick. So Jelavic almost making it 2-1 with 14 minutes to go and giving Hull City a chance of getting themselves back on level terms, just like Everton did after being 2-0 down. But thankfully Jelavic couldn't take it, and it was still 2-0. And they didn't look like taking the chances either, because as Abita goes down his left hand side here a few minutes later, it's a great chance to make it 3-0. He offloads it towards Varela. Varela cuts inside and strikes it, but Orion makes the save and turns it behind for a corner. So still West Brom 2, Hull 0. And in the 87th minute, you see Maynor Figueroa collect the ball, launch it long towards Gaston Ramirez, who controls it well and shoots. But what a save that is by Ben Foster. And you can see I'm so glad we didn't sell Foster, and he did decide to stay here, because that was a great stop by our captain, and he keeps it at 2-0. And in stoppage time, Hull City were going for a consolation goal and nothing else. Huddleston strikes his free kick, but it goes miles over the bar and into the Hull City fans in the away end there. And the game does indeed finish West Brom 2, Hull 0. So another 3 points for us, another good victory. Played very, very well. That free kick basically summed up Hull's day. Long range shooting, and when it did get into the box, they weren't good enough. Their finishing was really atrocious, but still a very good victory. Good to see both strikers get on the score sheet. And another 3 points for us. And it's been a really good run of late in the league. That West Ham defeat was just a blip clearly, and things have been going quite well. But following that, Berahino said he still wants a new contract, and as you can see, the board actually transfer listed him because we hadn't given him one, which is really annoying, because I don't like giving players contracts in transfer windows, because I tend to save the money for new players that we could possibly sign. But because he's transfer listed, I thought fine, we'll go ahead and give him one, because the one thing I don't want to do after his goal against Hull would see clubs basically circle like sharks and say, hey, he's on the transfer list now, he's a good young player, we'll put in a bid for him. So we offer him a contract, and as you can see in just a moment, he does actually accept that, which is really good. Also, Bentaleb has accepted his contract, so again, it's another bargain. Nabil Bentaleb arrives for 45 grand. Just ridiculous. It truly is. And you can see by his stats, 70 overall. He's valued at 1.1 million. We got him for 45,000. It's crazy. It truly is. It must be a glitch. And as you can see as well, Kim Seung-gyu, a South Korean goalkeeper, he has his contract up in 6 months, and I'm just thinking about backup goalkeepers for next year. Just thinking about if we can get one on for free, then sell on Adega. His contract's actually up at the end of the year, so I might let him go. Then we might be able to get hold of a one for free. And also Fabian Delph as well. His contract is also up at the end of the year, and Delph arriving for free would be a great signing for us. He's only on 30 grand a week as well. That would be a superb signing for us. We offer Fabian Delph a contract. We also offer Ben Amos one as well, because his contract's also up at the end of the year. And if we can't get hold of the Korean goalkeeper, we'll go for this guy. So we'll have to wait and see if any of those accept those contracts. And we'll see if we can get another couple of players in on free transfers for next season, because we've got no money to work with now. We may as well just sign players for free. And as you can see, USA come in for us and say we manage our nation. A few episodes ago, I did say I'll probably manage USA if they ever came in for us, so I'm probably going to go ahead and take that deal ahead of Uruguay and Australia as well, because USA does interest me, to be honest, as a project. And also Ben Amos, Kim Seung-gyu, and also Fabian Delph accept their pre-contracts, as does Berahino accept his contract extension, which is good to see. So I had to make a choice between Amos, Gyu, and Fabian Delph as well, because obviously Ben Amos could be a good backup goalkeeper. Both of those goalkeepers will be backup goalkeepers, but I decided to go for Kim Seung-gyu. Obviously Delph Delph was always going to come in regardless, but I went for the Korean goalkeeper because I have heard that this guy's got good potential, and we'll have to wait and see. But I had to adjust my budget as well. So it does mean that next year we'll have Zambrano, Kim Seung-yu, and also Fabian Delph arriving on pre-contracts. And for me, that's quite a good business to get all three of those players on free transfers. And I don't think Ben Amos is going to come in, but who knows? Maybe we'll raise some money in the next episode on transfer deadline day, and he could still sign after all. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, then please do leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode, which will of course be transfer deadline day very soon.